Okay, now we know what Lazan is and how to use it. We also know how to write a script that can download a file on the system. We know how to execute commands on the system, and we know how to report the result of a command to our email. So we basically know everything that we need to do in order to use Lazan remotely and target remote computers. So the first step is going to be downloading Lazan from a direct link to the target system. I've already created a new program called Download, Execute, and Report. So the first thing that I want to do in this program is download a file. And in our example, we want to download Lazan. So I'm going to go to my download script. I'm going to copy everything. And I'm going to paste it in here. Now, first of all, I don't care about how the download function works because like I said, we usually build that once, we make sure we build it well, and we forget about it. So, what I care about right now is the download where I'm calling it in here, and I'm passing a link to an image. Now, in my example, I want to download Lazan in the target computer. So, I need to have Lazan uploaded on a web server, and it needs to have a direct download link. So something like this, where when the person clicks on it, it'll download the file directly. It won't show HTML or, timers or any of that. So I'm using my web server in Kali. So if you see my var www html eval files, you'll see I have a file in here called lazan.exe. Which means that if we go to the Windows machine just real quick and go to my eval files right here, you can see that I have a file called lazan.exe right here. So we can download this file from the link that you can see at the bottom of the browser, or by going to 10.0.2.16, which is the IP of Kali, followed by eval files, which is the name of my directory, followed by the name of the file, which is lazan.exe. So this is going to be my download link, which I'm going to use in here. So it's going to be http 10.0.2.16 eval files, and the file name is lazan.exe. Now that's the first step done. This will download Lazan to my target computer. Now the next two steps, we've actually already implemented them. So we need to first of all execute Lazan and then wait for the result and send this result as an email to my own email address. And if you think of this functionality, we've already implemented it in our execute and report program. So if I just click on that and copy everything in here, I'm going to come here and I'll paste that here. I'm just going to do a few fixes. So first of all, I'm going to get all of this import and have one import statement at the top. So I'll delete this. I'll delete these trailing lines. And after that, I'm going to paste the sendMail function. And again, I'm going to minimize it because I don't care how it works. I know it works and that's it. Then we have the code that executes our report and executes. I'm just going to bring that up. And we already implemented this and spent a few lectures implementing it, so I'm really not going to talk about it much. First of all, we're downloading our file here. Next is the command variable that executes our command. And our command is going to be very simple. So I'm actually going to remove this variable. And I'm just going to write my command in here as a string. So my command is going to be executing the file that we download, which is Lazan. So it's going to do lazan.exe followed by all. So it's exactly what we were doing in here in my terminal. Now the result of this command is going to be captured in the result variable, and then the result variable is going to send this result to my own email where I'm going to see the results. So as you can see, we actually didn't program anything in this lecture. All we did is we used a very, very important skill that programmers have, which is reusing code. So we use the download code, which we already implemented before. We use the send mail function. Again, we already implemented that before. And even the code in the main program in here, or in the main script, we implemented all of this before. So all we did is just copy paste code from code that we already implemented, and we're using two helper functions that can be used in so many scenarios, and this is just one example. Like I said, you can mix these functions together with everything that we learned so far and with the stuff that we will learn. So you can use them in so many scenarios to achieve different goals. So I have this saved, and I'm going to transfer this to my Windows machine. Again, I'm going to use my web server, and I'm going to put it in my eval files and then download it from Windows. But I'm going to cut this from the lecture because I don't want the lecture to be boring, as I covered this before. Now I have the file here, the download, execute, and report program. And I'm actually going to remove this Lazan, the one that we manually downloaded. And I'll remove this as well. And let's run the program and see what happens. So I'm going to make this smaller. And I'm going to clear the screen. And then I'm going to run the program again using Python as usual. We'll talk about packaging later. And the name of my script is download, execute, and report.py. I'm going to hit enter and notice what's going to happen in here. Now, the script got executed, and as you can see, Lazan was downloaded in here, and in theory, this should have executed Lazan, got the result, and sent it to my own email. So let's go to Kali. And I've already logged into my email, and as you can see, I got a new message. If I click on this, you'll see I have the report that we usually get by Lazan, and I have the password stored in Firefox on that system, and if there were any other passwords stored on the target system, then I'd be able to get them. So now, using the download, execute, and report, or using the functions that we built so far, we're able to download an external program on the target system, execute the program, get the result, and get the result on our email. And we managed to do all of this by building a download, execute, and report script using a smaller helper functions that we already built before. Now there is one problem with our script. If you look at it in here, it downloaded Lazan in the same working directory. So if this was a normal user and they executed our file, they'll see that there is a new file showing up on their directory and they don't know what this file is. Now in the next lecture, we'll address this issue, and as we do that, you're going to learn some more useful Python tricks.